Welcome to another episode of Friday Freebies, where we take a look at the best free tools for web designers out there. Today, we're going to delve into AI. Now, if you have used anything like Claude Code or Codex, you'll know that the cost actually ramps up quite quickly. And maybe there are free tiers to test things out, but you kind of burn through things very, very quickly. How about if I said there's an open source option that is almost as good as Claude and Codex, and it is absolutely free? Best thing is, apart from it being free, which is also pretty cool, it's not some random one that you have no idea about. This is called Gemma 4 by Google. So let's take a look at how we'd set everything up and then some ways in which you could actually use this in your workflow. So first things first, we need to have some way of being able to run this on our local machine. This is one of the benefits of it. Being open source and run locally, we don't need an internet connection, so we can access this anyway. There are different models available of different sizes. So if you're on lower performance hardware, like a MacBook Air or something like that, you may want to use a lower model. But as long as you meet the kind of requirements, you can run a pretty hefty model. Is it going to come close to what Claude and I can do? Depends what your usage is. For dealing with things like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and so on, or lots of other use cases, you don't need an internet connection. That information is readily available and has been for a long time, and these models have been trained on it. What do we need? Well, we're going to use a free tool called Ollama. So all you need to do is head over to ollama.com. Link for everything will be in the description down below. Inside here, all you need to do is then hop over to download the version that's relevant to you, Mac OS, Linux, or Windows. I've downloaded the Mac OS version. All you need to do then is just run the executable file. It's a DMG file, for example, if you're on a Mac, or an exe file if you're on Windows. No idea about Linux. Once you've done that, open Ollama up and you'll get presented with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop over into the new chat option. And you can see we've got a typical kind of setup, the kind of thing you've seen with Claude Code, Codex, any of those things. So we're going to select a model. If you open this up, there are tons of models here, but we're looking for a specific one. So we're going to search for Gemma, and we're going to do 4, and you'll see there's a couple of models here. We've got Cloud, we've got 31B, 26B, E4B, and E2B, which for most people means absolutely nothing. They're just basically the size of the different models. So if you take a quick look over on the AI for Developers section on Google, again, the link for this is down below, you can see these are the parameters. The more parameters, the more resources you're going to need. And the more storage you're going to need, the more RAM, the more video RAM, and so on. So whatever model you want to run, make sure that your system will actually run it. What you could do is you could take the specifications of your computer, run it through ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. You can then see what version it recommends that you run and go with that model. And as you can see, it comes back and tells me, based upon the specifications of my machine, 64 gig of RAM, for example, which version I can go and run. So all I need to do is choose which one I want and click on the download option. For example, we're going to go with the 26B. It's kind of nice little happy medium place, but you choose what works best for you. Now, you'll see nothing actually happens here, so we don't know if this is downloading. Easiest way to find out, type a message in. And you'll see that now starts downloading the model. Simple as that. So this is 17 gigabytes or just under. So I'm going to let this download. Then I'll come back and we'll carry on with the rest of the video. We see how we can start to use this. So now we have that downloaded and installed locally. So we now have access to this even if we're offline. So we don't need an internet connection. That's one of the benefits of this. So obviously you can use this in the same way you would pretty much any other kind of tool. And we're not limited to just using Gemma 4. We can obviously use any of the options here. There are tons and tons of different options. For example, if you want to deal with coding, then Quen may be a better option. I would recommend checking out the different models here and seeing what they specialize in. And you can have multiple models installed and choose what you want to use in very much the same ways you can do with things like Claude Code, ChatGPT, Codex, and so on. You can choose the model you want. You can do the same thing here. So you have a lot of flexibility, all in an open source platform, all local to your machine. So we can use this in the same way you would any other kind of chat tool. Let's try something really simple. I say, can you tell me about WordPress? So as you can see, that's gone through, thought about things, and come back with an answer on WordPress. And you see, it tells us WordPress.org versus .com. Now, the time it takes is going to depend upon the specifications of your machine and also what model or models you're actually downloading and you're using. All those things are going to impact it. This is where the difference kind of comes in between using a local model like this and using something online like ChatGPT and so on. But this gives you all the benefits of being offline and gives you access to a ton of information. So you can see we've got all the options here. We can also say, is it familiar with things like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and so on? So again, let's ask it. It's going to go and do its thinking and then come back with what it finds and what it wants to tell us. There we go. Comes back. Yes, proficient in CSS, HTML, and so on. So you've got to kind of think HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and so on hasn't really changed that much in years and years and years. Yes, there's new things coming out, best practices and so on, but generally the foundations are the same and have been for a very long time. So even if this model isn't bang up to date in the same way that other online models are, you should still find this can do pretty much everything you should need it to do, or at least get you close to what you need as an end result. Okay, we've got this set up, but what exactly can we now do with it? How do we use this? Now, obviously, we could go and just start prompting inside here, get to generate some HTML code or whatever we want to do, but there's a better way of working. If you use something like VS Code or Anthracite and so on, you can add in additional extensions to open up what you can do inside VS Code with external AI tools. I've got this connected up to both Claude and I've got Codex, and if I want to, I can connect this up to Gemma using Ollama. So if we do a search for Gemma, you can see there's the Gemma Assistant, and this is Gemma Assistant for VS Code. So as you see, requirements, Visual Studio Code, blah, blah, blah. We've got that installed. Ollama installed and running locally. We've got that set up, and the Gemma model loaded into Ollama. So as you can see, it tells you what model and so on. So we meet all those requirements. And now if we install this, we can start referencing and using Ollama and Gemma inside VS Code and use this in exactly the same environment as you'd use if you want to work with something like Codex or something like Claude AI and so on. Plus, the benefit is, if we have this set up, you can then easily use Greenlight and be able to visually edit like I've covered in a previous video, like a link down below as well. Now, this is just going through the super basics, just showing you how to get this set up so you've got a local open source AI tool that you can use. If you want to extend it, you can push it over to tools like VS Code and then utilize those to actually use it as a coding assistant in the same way you would with other AI models. But if you'd like me to cover this in more detail, and you'd like me to sort of show you how we can take this process, connect everything up, be able to use something like Greenlight to be able to visually edit what we create using a tool like Gemma 4 in Ollama locally, so everything is kind of self-contained, let me know down below and I'll take a look at creating that content for you. But hopefully this has whet your appetite on how you can have open source free access to really solid AI tools without spending a single penny. Hopefully you enjoyed this content, and if you have, why not go down and tell YouTube you enjoyed it by hitting that thumbs up button. While you're down there, you can subscribe as well. If you didn't enjoy it though, well, you can hit the thumbs down button twice, as that works pretty well too. As always, my name is Paul C. This is WPTuts. Until next time, take care.